Hello friends, I'm Dr. Gaurav. In this video, I will discuss about study flow energy equation and work done in study flow process. Contents are flow process, study flow process, mass balance in study flow process, energy balance in study flow process, illustration of study flow process, work done in study flow process including isentropic, isothermal, isochoric and isobaric process. Flow process, a process in which mass is entering and leaving through the boundary of an open system is known as flow process. Virtually all the practical systems involve flow of mass across the boundary separating the system and surroundings, whether it be a steam turbine or a gas turbine or a compressor or an automobile engine, there exists flow of gases or gas mixtures into and out of the system. We must know how the first law of thermodynamics can be applied to an open system. Flow process can be classified in two categories. First is unstudied flow, second is studied flow. Study flow process. Study means when properties does not vary with respect to time. A process in which fluid properties can change from point to point within the control volume, but at any point they remain constant during the entire process, that is time independent, is known as steady flow. So in steady flow, properties can change from point to point within control volume, but it will remain constant with respect to time. Characteristics. First is no property within control volume change with time. That is, mass within control volume remains constant and energy within control volume remains constant. You can see in the diagram, this is the control volume or open system in which we are saying mass remains constant as well as the energy will also remain constant. Second point, no properties change at the boundary with time. Thus, the fluid properties at an inlet or exit remain same during the whole process. They can be different at different opens. You can see we are having one entry point and one exit point in the diagram. So what we are saying, suppose mass flow rate or mass flow rate entering the control volume is 5 kg per second. If we again find out the mass flow rate after 20 minutes and again if it comes out to be 5 kg per second, that means it is time independent. So this is steady flow process. Energy associated with mass is in the terms of internal energy, potential energy, kinetic energy and flow energy. So all these energy also are time independent. Third point, the heat and work interactions between a steady flow system and its surrounding do not change with time. So heat and work interaction will also remain constant with respect to time. Mass balance in steady flow process. The mass balance for journal steady flow system is given as sum of all the mass flow rate entering the control volume equal to sum of all the mass flow rate going out of the control volume. You can see in the diagram mass entering the control volume is m dot 1 and mass going out of the control volume there are two masses, or we can say mass flow rate. First is m dot 2, second is m dot 3. So if we apply mass balance, then we can say m dot 1 is equal to m dot 2 plus m dot 3. M dot, or we can say mass flow rate, is given as multiplication of rho A C, where rho represent density, A represent area and C represent velocity. Next is we will define some symbols which we use in this video. First is capital C. It is velocity in meter per second. Capital Z, elevation in meter. Small g, acceleration due to gravity in meter per second square. M dot, mass flow rate kg per second. Capital P, pressure Newton per meter square. Capital V, volume in meter cube. W dot, rate of work done in watt. Q dot, rate of heat transfer in watt. Capital U, internal energy in joule. Capital H, enthalpy in joule. Capital P into capital V, flow energy or flow work in joule. Ke, kinetic energy in joule. Pe, potential energy in joule. Next is symbol per unit mass. Small v represent specific volume meter cube per kg. Small w represent work done per unit mass joule per kg. Small q represent heat per unit mass in joule per kg. Small u represent internal energy per unit mass in joule per kg. Small h represent specific volume in joule per kg. Capital P into small b represent flow energy or flow work per unit mass in joule per kg. C square divided by 2 or small ke represent kinetic energy per unit mass in joule per kg. Gz or small p represent potential energy per unit mass in joule per kg. Next is energy balance in steady flow process. During a steady flow process, the total energy content of a control volume remains constant. We have already studied this. You can see we have write down here in the characteristic. First point, mass remain constant within the control volume and also energy remain constant within the control volume. Thus, the change in the total energy of the control volume is zero. That is uppercase delta E C V. Change in total energy within control volume is zero. Therefore, the amount of energy entering a control volume in all forms, that is heat, work and mass, must be equal to amount of energy leaving it. The rate form of the general energy balance for a steady flow is E dot in minus E dot out. It represents rate of net energy transfer by heat, work and mass is equal to dE system represents control volume divided by dt. It represents rate of change in internal energy, kinetic energy, potential energy, etc. within control volume. As we have already told you that the value of delta ECV is 0. So when there is no change in total energy, then this term will become 0. So what we get in terms of energy balance? E dot in is equal to E dot out. So energy entering the control volume must be equal to rate of energy leaving the control volume. So energy entering the control volume can be in form of heat, work and energy associated with the mass. The energy associated with the mass is in the terms of internal energy, flow energy, kinetic energy and potential energy. So the formula becomes Q dot in, that is rate of heat transfer to the control volume, plus W dot in, rate of work done to the control volume on the control volume, plus summation of in means summation of all the energies entering the system associated with the mass. So we can say m dot into u, small u represent internal energy per unit mass, plus p into small v represent flow energy per unit mass, plus c square upon 2 represent kinetic energy per unit mass, plus gz represent potential energy per unit mass, is equal to in the same way for the energy leaving the system. We can replace this u plus pv with enthalpy small h, because we are saying small u plus p into small v, means we are talking about per unit mass, and we can replace this with specific enthalpy per unit mass. So we have replaced here u plus pv with the small h for the in as well as for the out. Next is illustration of steady flow process. You can see in the diagram, we have assumed this as the reference or datum level. The height of the fluid or elevation of the fluid entering the control volume is Z1, and when it is leaving, the elevation is Z2 from the reference level. We have assumed that we are supplying Q dot heat to the control volume in watt, and the control volume is doing the work done in terms of W dot, that is in watt. We are saying that M dot represent mass flow rate, small u represent internal energy, P into small v represent flow energy per unit mass, C1 represent velocity. Symbol or subscript 1 represent in point and subscript 2 represent out point. So if we apply mass balance for this, then summation of all the rate of work done entering the system is equal to summation of all the rate of summation of all the mass flow rate entering the system is equal to summation of all the mass flow rate going out of the system. As you can see, we are having only one entry point and one exit point. So we can say m dot 1 is equal to m dot 2. Now when both of these are equal, we can assume that these values are equal to m dot. I have already explained you these two equations. So next step is, from the given figure we can say that Q dot out is equal to 0 and W dot in equal to 0. As you can see, there is no heat going out of the system and there is no work done on the system. So we can say W dot in is 0 and Q dot out is 0. So if you put here Q dot out 0 and W dot in 0, you will get this equation. In the next step, what we have do, we have replaced this Q dot in with the Q dot and W dot out with the W dot. As you can see in the figure, what we are saying, heat entering the system in watt is Q dot and work done by the system in watt is W dot. So we have just replaced these two terms. In the next step, we have replaced this Q dot with M dot 1 small q and W dot with M dot 2 small w, where small q represent heat per unit mass, small w represent work per unit mass. So it will be having unit joule per kg. We are taking only 1 and 2 substitute because there is only one entry and one exit. From the mass balance, we have already done the mass balance here. So we are just rewriting the term m dot 1 equal to m dot 2 equal to m dot. So replace this m dot 1 with m dot and m dot 2 with m dot. We will get the next term. As m dot is common, it will be cancelled out. So we get small q, that is heat per unit mass, plus H1 specific enthalpy per unit mass, plus C1 square by 2, that is kinetic energy per unit mass, plus G Z1, that is potential energy per unit mass, where C represent velocity, Z represent elevation, is equal to small w, that is work done by the system per unit mass, and substitute 2 represent exit condition, and this small q represent heat given to the system per unit mass, and small w represent work done by the system per unit mass or control volume. If the enthalpy, heat and work are in kilojoule per kg and kinetic energy and potential energy are in joule per kg, so we have to convert kinetic and potential energy into kilojoule per kg, because we need to make all the units same. For that, what we have to do, we have to divide this kinetic energy per unit mass with the 1000 and this potential energy also with the 1000. Same we have to do on the right side. For the kinetic energy divided by 1000, for the potential energy per unit mass divided by 1000. So we'll get this equation. If we assume that in the system or in control volume, change in kinetic and potential energy is 0, then C1 square will be equal to C2 square and GZ1 will be equal to GZ2. So these terms will be cancelled out. What we get finally, small q is equal to H2 minus H1 plus small w. In terms of small changes, we can write down lowercase delta q is equal to dH plus lowercase delta w. We know that for internally reversible system, lowercase delta q is equal to TdS, where capital T represent absolute temperature, ds represent change in entropy per unit mass. So if you replace this lowercase delta q in this equation, we get TdS equal to dH plus lowercase delta w for the control volume. From second TdS equation, you can write down TdS equal to dH minus VdP. If you compare both these equations, finally you get small w, that is work done by the system per unit mass, is equal to minus integration of VdP. So this is applicable in case of steady flow. We have already studied non-flow process. In non-flow process, this value comes out to be integration of PdV. But remember, for steady flow, the formula of work done by the system per unit mass is equal to minus integration of small v dP. Small v represents specific volume. We also know that change in enthalpy H2 minus H1 is equal to Cp T2 minus T1, where the capital T represents temperature. This equation is applicable for ideal gas. So for isothermal process, as the temperature is constant, change in enthalpy is 0 for ideal gas. We have not taken here mass because we are Talking about small h means per unit mass. Next is work done in steady flow process. First is isentropic process, or we can say reversible adiabatic process or constant entropy process, that is S1 minus S2, where S represent entropy. For isentropic process, we know that PV raised to power gamma equal to constant C, or we can say P1 V1 raised to power gamma is equal to P2 V2 raised to power gamma equal to C. In terms of temperature, we can say T1 by T2 is equal to V2 by V1 whole raised to power gamma minus 1, or we can say P1 by P2 whole raised to power gamma minus 1 divided by gamma. We know that the formula of work done, here we are saying capital W, means this is work done in joule, is equal to minus integration of V dP. A capital V represent volume from the lower limit P1 to P2. If you find out the value of V from this relation, then the value of V comes out to be C upon P whole raised to power 1 upon gamma dP. As C is constant, it will be out of integration. So what left inside the integration is P raised to power minus 1 upon gamma into dP. If you integrate this value, you will get this term. In the next term, what we have do? We have taken the LCM. If you take the LCM, you will get gamma minus 1 upon gamma. And we have multiplied this C 1 upon gamma into the numerator. So we will get this equation. In the next step, what we have done? We have replaced this C with P2 V2 power gamma. And this C with P1 V1 raised to power gamma. If you solve this equation, you will get the final answer as gamma into P1 V1 minus P2 V2 divided by gamma minus 1. If you try to remember the formula of work done for the closed system, then the formula of work done for the closed system is P1 V1 minus P2 V2 divided by gamma minus 1. So we got new relation from this derivation, that is work done for steady flow process is equal to gamma times work done for the closed system, where gamma represents isentropic index. We know that value of heat transfer for isentropic process is 0. The value of gamma is equal to 1.4 for air, that is for diatomic gas. You can see the PV diagram. This hatched area represents the work done by the isentropic process in steady flow, and we are saying here PV raised to power gamma equal to constant. We are moving from 1 to 2, it is expansion. Now we are comparing the steady flow and the non-flow process. 1-2 process is isentropic, PV raised to power gamma constant for the steady flow, as well as for the non-flow we are saying 1-2 process as isentropic, PV raised to power gamma equal to C. But there is a difference between these two. First is the in steady flow, the formula is minus integration of VdP. For the non-flow, the formula of work done is integration of PdV. That's why the hatch area is different in both the diagram. To find the hatch area in steady flow, what you have do? You have draw horizontal line from 1 and 2, then you find the hatch area. This area represents the work done under steady flow for the PV diagram. And in case of non-flow, you have drawn the vertical line from 1 and 2, and this hatch area represents the work done in case of non-flow process. So hatch area is different for both the PV diagram, although both the processes are isentropic, because the formula of work done is different for both the process. Next is isothermal process, that is constant temperature process, T1 equal to T2, or we can say PV equal to constant. So we can say P1 V1 equal to P2 V2 equal to C. We know the formula of work done is minus integration of VdP from lower limit P1 to P2, as we are going from 1 to 2. If we replace V with C upon P, C is constant, it will be out of integration. Integration of dP upon P is natural log P2 upon P1 with minus symbol outside. If you want to eliminate this minus symbol, then in the next step, what we have to do? We have changed the numerator and denominator. Here we are writing P1 upon P2. So the formula is C natural log P1 upon P2. The value of C is P1 V1. So we have write down here P1 V1 natural log P1 upon P2. If you find out P1 upon P2, it comes out to V2 upon V1. So we have write down here V2 upon V1. If you want to convert this natural log into log 10 base, then multiply with 2.3. So what we get? 2.3 P1 V1 log base 10 V2 upon V1. If you remember the formula of work done in case of closed system, we are hitting the same formula. So we got another relation. Work done in steady flow for isothermal is equal to work done for the closed system. This hatch area again represents the work done under PV diagram for the isothermal process in steady flow. P equal to C and W equal to minus integration of VdP. Next is isochoric process. Constant volume process V1 equal to V2, or we can say P divided by T equal to constant, or we can say P1 divided by T1 equal to P2 divided by T2. We know the formula of work done is integration of VdP from lower limit P1 to P2 with minus symbol outside. If we replace V, or we can say V is constant, so it will be out of integration. Integration of dP is P2 minus P1, but we are having minus symbol outside, so we get the next term as V1 P1 minus P2, or we can say V1 equal to V2 V2 P1 minus P2. So this is the constant volume process. If you want to find out the hatch area, what you have to do? From point A, draw a horizontal line. From point 2, draw a horizontal line, and the hatch area you can draw with the help of lines represents the work done in case of isochoric process for steady flow. Next is isobaric process. Constant pressure process P1 equal to P2, or we can say V1 divided by T equal to constant. We know that the formula of work done is minus integration of VdP